So this is a guide on how to debadge your car. The first thing you want to do is you want to have a little look on the internet just to see if your badges on the boot, if they use locating pins, because if they do, when you remove the badge you'll be left with two little holes in the boot panel. This particular car doesn't use them, so I'm just heating up the adhesive. By heating up the adhesive with the hairdryer or a heat gun, obviously it just helps it to become a bit more squidgy so that you can remove the badge easier. When the badge is heated up, I get a little bit of cotton. Some people use fishing wire, but I've always used cotton and I've never had a problem. What I do is I use it as a little saw and I just cut through the adhesive. Some cars this can be quite difficult, but providing the temperature's correct, you shouldn't have any issues. So I get about halfway through the first badge and it cools down. So I'm gonna heat up the badge. I can tell it's cooled down because all of a sudden I get to a part of the badge where the string is not cutting through the adhesive anymore. So I just heat it up quickly with the hairdryer. We're not trying to go for some insane temperatures, just enough to make the adhesive a bit softer. So now it's up to temperature. I know it's up to temperature because I can feel the heat, and also I think I burnt my finger on the badge at some point here. But I just continue to use the string to cut the rest of the adhesive, and as you get to the end, just hold the badge to make sure it doesn't drop and scratch your bumper because it is made out of metal. Now on the other side, with the 106 badge, it's exactly the same process. Get the hairdryer onto the badge. When it's up to a temperature where I can feel that it's hot, I get my cotton and I use it as a little saw again just to cut the adhesive behind the badge. The reason I use cotton is because cotton is known for being quite soft, it's readily available, and it's not very likely to scratch your paint. Here I'm using a bottle of engine degreaser to break down the sticky residue that's left behind from the badge. I have used a cut-in compound in the past, and you'd be surprised how effective that is for taking off this sort of stuff. So yeah, I used the degreaser. It takes a while. You can see the little adhesive patch is soaking up all the degreaser, and over time, over the course of a couple of minutes, it seems to get more and more squidgy, and eventually it'll just fall off the paint. I'm using a microfiber cloth, so I'm not likely to mar the paintwork or scratch the paint. I have used a credit card in the past for this sort of job, but it left little indents in the paint which had to be machine polished out, but the way I've done it here was quite successful for me.